Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and today we're going to be going over the newest information on the newest prize showcase to answer the question whether or not if you should summon. Now there are a few other notices today as well, so let's just quickly go over him. The Alberian Battle Royale has been updated, and now you have Raphael instead of Azazel. Pretty cool. And additionally, there's a new Wyrmprint in the trade, and I will count this as part of this banner because I always put them around with banners. It is a rainy day, and it has gauge accelerator plus 35%, and it does include Lowen in the art, so I think it is very adorable, and I will be sure to get it. Let's look at it right now. Just in the store before we get into this video. Look at him. Lowen with his friends, making, I believe those are Japanese, like, little, like, weather spirits for, like, when it rains or when it, like, the winds are really strong. So it's pretty cool to see them making those. I've seen those before in media, and I know the Pokemon cast form is actually based on them. But besides that, let's get into this banner. Now, this banner is going to be a quick one. This video is going to be a quick one because there's not much to talk about here. There's only one unit and one dragon on it, but it is a prize showcase. So you should be considering the fact that there are prizes available that you can get, and that might be a reason to summon. The last couple of prize showcases I've summoned on, it's been specifically because I wanted one of the units that was on here. I kind of want Raphael from a collection sake because I am only missing, if I go to dragons, I'm only missing a handful of dragons. And I believe one of the ones that I'm actually missing now is, yeah, I'm missing 4 dragons. I'm missing Rose Queen, Raphael, Jean the Arc, and Gilgamesh. So, you know, it would be cool to pick her up, but I don't think I am actually going to spring for her. I think I'm actually just going to stay where I'm at currently. So that I'm already going to say I'm not going to summon on this. And I'm going to give a case for why I don't think it's worth summoning on. So going forward, let's look straight into Isaac right now. Isaac is a light bow, which means that he's competing in the slot with Luca. And he's also competing with a few other adventurers, like Summer Cleo, if you're using her. And he's a very interesting unit. We'll go over him very quickly. So his first skill deals damage to enemies directly ahead and activates one of the following effects at random, and it either increases his strength, increases the user's attack rate, gradually recovers the user's HP, or gradually fills the user's skill gauge. And then, the skill also creates a buff zone that creates the same kind of effect applied to the user by the skill. So essentially, he creates a buff on himself that he can use anywhere, and then he gives his team the same buff in a skill zone. Now, as far as I've been told, as far as I can tell, these count as the same buff, so you won't be stacking the 2 buffs on top of each other. But this does work in Nihility, and this does work in the Sinister Dominion. So, both of these things that you're trying to get here will actually be affecting you, which is actually pretty good because it gives him a unique build case because he does have a buff zone and he does have these individual buffs. But this is kind of all, in my opinion, this is kind of all he has. He has these 2, he has this buff that's at random, it's also a charge zone. If you go down further, you have this second skill, Lightning Hunt, which deals damage directly ahead. It does 1,500 damage, which is okay. And it costs 7,000 SP, which is a lot for a second skill that only does that much damage. So that's already concerning. And then if we go and look at his co-ability and chain co-ability, they're both pretty basic. And we look at his abilities, he has Guardsman of the Venture. Using Loud Fury grants the user a strength amp with a maximum team aim level of 2. Also increases the user's shadow resistance, is increased by 5 when they are in a buff zone. And then he has Poise Strength, which increases his strength by 20% when the user is in a buff zone. So essentially, what you want to do is basically just spam your skill 1, stand in the buff zone, and attack. Which is fine, and I think that it will help him. And he actually does have the strength amp without a cooldown. He's one of the few adventurers that do. But the issue here is that he does have a max team level of 2, as all non-Gala adventurers have a max team level of 2. So my 2 issues with him come in the fact that, 1, if you're truly going to want him to be a buff bot unit, you're going to need a Gala adventurer, probably Gala Yuden, with him at all times so that he can reach the level 3 level amp. And 3, not level 3, point 2 is that Loath is already out. So for me personally, endgame light content is already kind of minimal because I can just auto expert for anything I need. I'm already done grinding Lilith. I already have all my weapons. So he serves almost no functional purpose for me, except maybe Legend Tartarus when that comes out, but that's so far away that I can't really talk about that yet. So yeah, he's a bit of an interesting. Light units as a whole right now are in a bit of an interesting spot because I don't have a lot of reason to summon for them, and Isaac's no different. He doesn't have anything that would really push me to summon for him. So on Isaac right now, I'm gonna say, unless you really need him, unless you really want him from a lore perspective, which that's a perfectly valid reason to want him, I'm gonna skip. Then going to Raphael, my wings beat to heal humanity's ills. She has her first skill, which deals damage directly ahead, and immediately readies the user's second skill for use. I thought this was interesting, and I thought this was a cool idea to have on a unit, because usually the second skill is the more longer charging one, the one that would take more time for us to get working, and it's more valuable to the unit most of the time. But her ability is 60% strength, and then she has this Raphael's Age, which is if the user is attuned to light, when the user takes damage, restores their HP, grants him Raphael's Age effect for 30 seconds instead of Raphael's Age. The user's defense is increased by 50%. Activating this effect will not again. This ability will not activate again for 60 seconds. So she could be decent on a tanky unit like Julieta. She could be decent on Rosarda, who is her pack-bound in lore. But I think that there are better cases for her, especially if you have Gala Reborn Jean. No, I don't have Gala Reborn Jean, and I also don't have Gilgamesh, which are probably the two biggest competition this dragon has. So there is use case for me, but I don't know if this maybe I would summon just for her quickly. Do a couple 10-folds, hopefully pick her up, have her. But in the case that I am after doing all that summoning for Galamascula, I'm kind of in a case where I don't really care. And she's a permanent dragon, and Isaac is a permanent adventurer, so there's no limitations here. There's no rush to get these units. So out of the moment right now, I'm going to say skip, even though it's a prize showcase. It's one of the weaker prize showcases that we've had in recent memory. And if they keep putting them out, you will have another prize showcase to do in the near future, because they seem to be doing a prize showcase almost every month. So keep that in mind. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.